Buenos dias, everyone. Mark from Double Clutch Auto Reviews here. We are here in beautiful San Jose, Costa Rica with the Suzuki Jimny. I have to say, so far, I love this car. It's been super fun to drive. It's so weird and quirky, and let's check it out. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the all-new 2019 Suzuki Jimny, 4th generation. It's powered by a 1.5-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine, making 101 brake horsepower and 96 pound-feet of torque. It is estimated to start around $17,500 US MSRP, or around 15,500 euro. This particular model has a 5-speed manual transmission, 4-wheel drive. It is a 3-door 4-seater and is rated for 41.5 average miles per gallon. Okay. First impression of the car, I love it. This car is so weird and quirky. I love it. It's great. Super fun to drive. So just driving around Costa Rica in and of itself is an experience, I have to say. There are so many different cars here that we don't have in the US. It's just so crazy to see all these different vehicles that we don't have. Even cars that we do have, the versions that they have here of them are totally different names, and it's very cool to see. What's actually hilarious is this is the first 2019 car I've ever driven in another country, and a model of a car that they don't sell in the US, which I think is pretty funny. This car is a pretty interesting blend of modern and old school. There are no power anything, manual locks, manual windows, manual transmission, manual everything, manual seats obviously, but the interior, it's nice looking. I think it's pretty cool. Nothing fancy, but this is a cheap, rugged 4x4 type of economy car. It's like a little mini Japanese Jeep. It's hilarious. The clutch catches super early. I almost stalled it when we first got in it. This car actually has hill descent control, which is a pretty cool feature for a car like this. The transmission is surprisingly smooth. It goes into gear very well, very smooth. It's notchy. It doesn't. There's really no wiggling. And once you're in gear, it's solid transmission. I'm very impressed. So one thing I noticed that I don't like, the car at idle seems to be randomly shuddering while we're sitting here at idle, which is a little unsettling for a brand new car, but Suzuki props, you know. Oh, and another thing, the most annoying thing about this car, the seatbelt warning noise when you don't have your seatbelt on. Let me demonstrate. And it doesn't stop. I guess they want you to be safe in this car and always wear your seatbelt. Never mind, I take it back about how composed it is in turns. This thing leans. We just took a 90-degree left-hand turn, and this thing was like, woo! One thing about this car that people would probably not enjoy is there's a lot of wind noise, and the sound insulation is very minimal. You can hear everything, and people could probably hear us talking right now if they were right outside the car. It's like a tin can, but it doesn't bother me. But hey, that's kind of what you're expecting when you buy a vehicle like this. It's kind of the whole personality behind it. So acceleration, definitely not fast. However, for what it is, the car moves. It has enough power for the weight of the vehicle, I would say. I love the style of this car. It really speaks to me. I love its quirkiness. It's so boxy and just looks like it's ready to take on the world. And my little Suzuki Jimny is just ready to go. The Jimny also appears to be pretty good on gas. We've been driving a lot so far. I think we've put about, I don't know, at least 200 or 300 kilometers on this thing since we got it from the rental car place. It was at full for the gas gauge, and now it only went down 1 bar out of about, looks like 14 bars, so it seems to be doing really well so far. Sorry, I lied. 10 bars. 10 bars on the fuel gauge. If this thing is as good as my Suzuki Vitara is off-road, I'm sure this thing's a beast. Probably take on anything in this car. It's so light and nimble. I'm sure it just dances over anything. Another thing that this car does not have, which it really should, especially for being in 2019, It doesn't have cruise control, which on a long ride would be nice, I have to say. Okay, another thing that's annoying about the car is the mass amounts of blank switches, including a 12-volt outlet for a car charger or whatnot, and it's just a circle. You can't even open it, it's not even there. I mean, come on, really? Are you serious? I can't lie, this thing gets a little squirrely when you're getting up there in speed. I guess if you're getting this car for a good deal, if it's really cheap, I mean, I'm sure it's very reliable in the long run. It's a Japanese car. If you're using it for daily driving around the city and whatnot, you're not taking it on really long trips, you're gonna use for your errands and whatnot, I feel like it would be fine, because you don't really need all these creature comforts if you're not spending very, very long amounts of time in the car. But for a long trip, I definitely would appreciate some cruise control. Overall, I did enjoy driving the Suzuki Jimny. It was a lot of fun. It made me smile when I got behind the wheel. I feel like this car has a lot of potential for being a really good off-roading vehicle to modify. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please give me a like. Would really appreciate it. Also, please consider subscribing. Helps me out a lot. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you next time. Peace. Okay, ready? No exaggeration. Look at this. Minimal effort.